Oh, Grace, we're ready for countdown.
Okay, countdown. Coming right up.
5.
Baby, you should say that I no longer lead the way. I miss how close we used to be. I'm skeptical about you and me. But when I hear your pace behind, like a whisper in my mind, say what you think and do what you say. It doesn't have to be that way. It won't last, it goes too fast. The die has been cast.
And hello, I'm Michael.
I like that song, honey. We're gonna have
once again, hello, I'm Michael.
Hi, I'm Grace.
And we're California Travel Videos. And Grace, you were saying?
I like that song. We're gonna have to incorporate that in some of our videos.
I think it would be a great one, yeah. And so we are feeling like flower children out here in California. I hope wherever you find yourself, you are too. And Grace, let's see. Do we want to do a little comment there? Oh, here we got somebody coming in.
Hey, Diary
Kathleen,
of a Family.
howdy.
How are you guys?
And the Diary of a Family. I wonder if this is Carolyn or Garrett or the kids. Howdy, y'all. Good to see you.
Is in the air, and I have spring fever. So I hope you guys are all enjoying the weather, some of the beautiful smells. With that, I do have today's joke. And today's joke is, why couldn't the bee decide which flower to land on? Michael, do you know?
Does it have to do with the letter B?
He was having a floral dilemma.
A floral dilemma. Okay. I would not have guessed that one. Whew, a little bit like the ceiling over my head today.
Hi, Kitty. Hello, Endless RVing. Hope you guys are all doing well. We love to hear about your spring plans, where you're going, what you plan on doing, what you plan on planting. If you're doing a garden, let us know in the comments. And Michael, what do we have for today?
Well, today we're going to be talking about a handful of things or more. We got a good show today. And first off, what do you think? We'd like to get your input on how you feel about RV shipments. Do you think they're up, down, or the same-o, same-o? Number 2, Smokey the Bear gets cameras. What's up with that? Number 3, Move Over Apprentice. Camping World is coming to the theaters. Number 4, yet another RV podcast. Chuck Woodbury. I wonder how many of you know who Chuck Woodbury is. I think you will once we go through that. And chip in another nickel. Fuel prices, bah humbug. Well, I guess supply and demand. And next up, artistry aside, it's not nice to fool Smokey, at least with the California Highway Patrol. And go RVing. They're coming to the party big time. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on their website. And the government is here to help you, huh? The Office of Outdoor Recreation has been doing some good things, actually. Thank you for asking. And, vandalism at national parks. Yikes, it hurts. We might talk about that just a little bit, see if we can get people to shape up. So, Grace, do you have anything else you'd like to add before we get started?
Yeah, we're talking about things that are new, and Michael has for us a new cookbook.
Okay.
Fix it in foil. And he saw this, and it reminded him of a recipe that his dad used to make. I think he called it Hamburger Delight.
Hamburger Delights it was.
Where it was cooked in a fire with tin foil, and the foil held it in and kind of steamed the food. So
it's like a pressure cooking, yeah.
Yeah, there are some great recipes, as well as one thing I was really happy about is there's also some good tips about different folds that you can do with the foil, as well as the campfire. So I am planning on making either some chicken pizza, but they have vegetable and desserts. And one of the desserts is actually very close to one that Grassroots Living did not too long ago, where they cooked the dessert or the biscuit in an orange peel. So I might try that.
Right. Yeah, there's some good things. My father, he would take hamburger, good quality hamburger, and sprinkle in some salt and pepper, chop up some onions, maybe put a little garlic if you want to, slice up the carrots and peel the potatoes and chop that up a little bit, and add whatever else you want to, kind of seal it up with a double layer of aluminum foil, and let it start to steam, get pressure cooked about half an hour, something like that, depending upon how close you get it to the coals. But the nice part about it for us bachelor type of people back in those days is you've got a fork. You go ahead and eat it with a fork. You lick off the fork. You're pretty much good to go. Easy cleanup.
I definitely want to welcome Nellie. And
Whoa, Nellie.
Live. Thanks for being here, guys.
Hello, Lucy and Brian. And who else we got here?
Ray.
Ray. Here. Hello, Ray. Yeah, but speaking of the itinerant bachelor, Ray, how you doing there, big guy? He's got some great videos if you haven't been keeping up on his. And I know a lot of the other ones out there too. Now that you mention it, is that, we've got a lot of great videos out there. So I encourage you, all these people you see out there, if you haven't, sign up for their channels and check out some of their videos. Grace, what's our next video?
Well, our next video is actually going back to 90 Days Around the USA, and we're going to finally get out Shenandoah National Park. So coming up, hopefully, I would say within the next week or so, give or take. But we've got some plans.
I would say even less. Yeah, we've got the video script and all that kind of good start on it.
Yeah, and so we've got some camping plans. Hello, Grassroots Living. Thank you so much for your great video that you just did. So all the names that you're seeing here over on the side, a lot of them are also YouTubers. So if you're interested in RV travel or getting out there and seeing the world or living vicariously, I would definitely recommend you check out their channels. Grassroots Living just hit 5,000 subscribers.
5,000, man. She is on her way. The rockets are propelled for, I'm not sure which planet, but she's out of the world.
Right, and to ring my own bell here, or our own bell here, we are 30 away. So we're going to have a party pretty soon. For that.
So Dean and Shailene, great job for you guys. And we're coming up, we're looking for that 1K right around the corner. Can you smell it, Grace?
I can smell it. So if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button and get us one step closer, because it's a TikTok counting game. And we're hoping that we can have a celebration party here on a Tuesday night coming up.
One of them coming soon to a California travel theater near you. So let's get started with our first item, RV shipments. Do you think, I would like your input, everybody, are that you think they're going up, going down compared to a year ago? We've had, it looks like there's some pent up demand, but then there's a supply chain shortages, with the, all the different things. I don't want to say the C word, but COVID or the freezes down in Florida. And so do you think we're going up or down? This
I say we're going
compared to a month ago last year. Well, okay. Do we have any answers so far?
Ring of fire.
Going up, we've got.
Down.
Don't stiff deeply. There's lots of pulling in the air. That's good, Kathleen. I love it.
Going up like a SpaceX rocket.
That's so funny you mentioned, because I've been spending way too time about SpaceX and Starlink, and I know enough to be really dangerous. I mean, when you get looking at all the stuff that are in the Reddit groups and some of the different forums, that's fine. But when you start going to FCC filings, now there's no hope for you. Anyway, regarding the RVIA shipments going up or down, the answer is, let's see. Would it be? It's 11,000. Was it gone down 30% or gone up 30%? Yeah, you guessed it. It's gone up. So, there's a lot of being shipped out the door. Wow. You would think that with some of the supply chain shortage, it wouldn't keep going like this. But in travel trailers, last year, 25,000 in the that month. February, and this time 35,000. So that's the big one. Travel trailers, people are trying to get their hands on them. And as you recall, it was about 2 years ago, Grand Design was bought by Winnebago. Thank you very much, because they saw that hot market coming. Class Bs, not a lot of sales. Well, it went from 360 last year. Of course, things were starting to slow down then, up to 1,000. So it's, tripled, but, not like the 10,000 increase that happened on the travel trailers. And Class C, I think we're fairly flat. Let me just double check that number. It went from 2,200 to let's get this number, 2,500. So it did go up 10%. Okay, that's good. And then the Class A's were flat. So there you go. So it's been a good year, especially for those people in selling the travel trailers and the like. So meanwhile, though, in Northern California, I should say up north of California, Oregon? No, Washington?
Yep,
no, Canada. In Northern Canada, they are not too happy that last year reports from the USA, they were down 28%. So, they have been having less sales, but, no secret that what's been going on lately is it's been them not being able to thaw out and come to the lower 48. But I got a feeling that's around the corner. I remember they were going to extend it to about the 15th of April. So hopefully in the 15th of April, that they'll be able to get more sales and be coming down to join us. So, Grace, anything else before we go to the next item? Or anybody out there?
I don't know if I should say this, but Starlink looks like it's coming to RVs. So that's going to be the new X word, I think.
Yeah, I tell you, I could talk on this subject for an hour, but just I better button my lip and not talk about it. But yeah, some people think that, it's coming around the corner. The FCC does have a filing where they call it the eSIMs. They have 3 different types. I mean, one for boats, one for airplanes, and the third for could be trucks, could be RVs. We should be aware, though, that of the 100,000, early adopters, they call them the beta users that are out there right now. In fact, they have a word for it in SpaceX. They're kind of a cool kids. They call it better than nothing. So this beta is the better than nothing. But you cannot take it more than about 5 to 10 miles away from your fixed location. If you put it on your RV and I'm going to go to the next county, it's not going to work that far away. So right now they have limitations that are on it before they're going to allow that. But as more satellites are out there, and I have some nice animated graphics on that to show how as we get more satellites out there, then there's more of the ability to be able to have our RV get communications to the satellite as well as to the ground network, because you have to ultimately go through the internet to go to wherever you're going. So it's coming, but we're not sure exactly when or what the cost will be. But since you ask, there is basically the gear is elementarily speaking, it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same dishy as they call it. And so that will be same old. And the gear, with the router that you have, it'll be basically the same. But there are some engineering considerations when they're put in to make sure that the radio frequencies don't zap anybody. So that's part of what they have to do.
So Garrett says, I was referencing the filings that they made.
Yeah, they did put some filings to ask the FCC for approval to begin to be able to do testing. And they've already done some testing on some airplanes. So yeah, a lot of people think, well, I only be able to use it in a fixed location. And when I get to that location, I have to let them know. Right now, if you have a new location where you want to go to, you can put in and go through a service request change. But, anything beneath about, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, it's not, they don't have enough satellites yet to get the central part of the United States. There are some exceptions, but we are like at 37 degrees north by San Francisco, and they're telling us that maybe by the middle towards the end of year is what they've told me regarding the beta. So
okay,
it will come. So, okay, so next up we're going to talk about is Smokey getting sports camera. They're getting sporty. Yeah. So they're going to start it actually right here near us at the San Francisco National Park. And I think it's a reclamation area is what they call it. But they're going to start doing the test with body cameras, and it's going to be rolling out through all of the rest of the national parks and Forest Service and those types of things by the end of this year. So I think that's a good thing. We've seen so much stuff about, almost all the police out there obviously are doing a great job. We thank them for their service they give. Mm-hmm. And when there's the person that's sometimes tempted, where they work long hours, they work a lot of overtime, whatever the things are, where somebody is misbehaving, the body cameras help them to show that what they did was legitimate. Or if not, then, hey, hopefully that wearing the body cameras is helping us all. So
I will say that from my own personal experience working for a corporation where I was in a call center and every single call was recorded, I had ample opportunities to hear myself. And sometimes I don't think we really hear how we come across to other people. And sometimes when you play something back and you hear yourself in your tone, you see where a problem was encountered that might not have been encountered had you used a different tone or chose different words. So I think that hopefully maybe they will use some of this as a learning experience as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. In fact, just people who think they need to have firearms, you should do regular training with it, out on the firing range to make sure that you not only are aware of it, how to use it, how to load it, how to take care of it. All those things are important. In fact, even just preventive maintenance for, I should say, what am I trying to say? Having to be aware before something happens inside your RV, whether you want to have an alarm system, do you test it out? How about your fire extinguishers or your smoke detectors?
We have to have an alarm system. How else would you know when dinner's ready?
That's right. I hear the alarm. Suppers must be on the table.
Yep. Always pretty much a truism.
Yes, it is. So, okay, well, next item, unless we have any comments there.
So that's just going back on that real quick to recap. That's through all the national parks, and all of the police will have body cams it's forecasted that by the end of the year, they will all be body cam equipped, correct?
Yeah, the end of this year is when it happens. Okay. That's right. And why don't you go ahead and put the link up there if we have any of our friends there that want to come in and join us on the show. They can go ahead and tell us their English on these things that we speak about. Or if you don't want to, you just want to go ahead and continue on the comments. We love those also.
If you would like to come and join us, our fellow YouTubers, we definitely welcome you. And you can come and tell us about your channel or what's new in your life or what you're looking forward to. I put the link in the comments.
Thank you, Grace. So next up, Camping World is at it again. Their CEO, Marcus Lemonis, is continuing to get more into video. So, he's opening more stores here in the lower 48 states, and yet he's got other big plans too. So he's made an investment in some filming companies that do leading film and TV production companies. So they're going to be doing some more in television and branded corporate videos, documentaries and the like. So I guess that they're looking to kind of leverage the market. This is really a growing area, this thing we do here on the internet. So I think we'll start to see more polish by some of the big boys. Well, I wonder what you guys think about that.
Yeah, I was just reading today that he also has a very popular reality show on the Peacock channel. It's called Profit. Let me verify real quick.
Yeah, it's sort of like The Millionaire. Somebody's had all this money. He's got all these stacks of $100 bills that he's talking about. But Profit, that sounds right. I've
actually seen one of them on Farrell's Ice Cream. So that might be part of the reason why he's channels. But I hope he does do a good documentary. The Nomad movie was very popular. It was up for an award. So
Nomad Land, I think it is, Grace.
Nomad Land?
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully there'll be more documentaries.
In fact, I don't know about your states, but Grace, I was just seeing where this Wednesday is for our county. You know, the California has this thing with different colors. Purple is really bad. Your COVIDs are not doing well at all. Red is getting better. And we're red going to hopefully amber yellow here pretty soon. But this Wednesday, they're going to open up the theaters. They say every other row people can sit, and you have to have between groups, 3 seats open between them. But so that show, we'll be able to see it now at the theaters starting this Wednesday, Grace.
We can also see it on our television at home.
That is true.
I'm not sure if I'm ready to get back out there to the movies yet. I haven't had my second shot.
That's true. 2 more weeks and she'll be she'll be a pin cushion. She'll be full of shots. Okay, well, next up, RV Travel. That's the e-magazine you may get. I think there's hundreds of thousands of us who get them for free. If you don't, go to RV Travel and sign up for it. You can't beat free. Free tastes good. And if you want to support the channel, they always appreciate that. But their head honcho, Chuck Woodbury, has kind of turned over the reins to his daughter in the last year or so. But he is going to get back in the saddle, darling. He's going to be doing a podcast. A lot of people are out there with podcasts these days. But, it's kind of nice if you're RVing, you want to listen to one while you're driving. It's kind of hard to be watching a YouTube sometimes when you're driving. If you do, don't tell me about it. But starting April 4th, they're going to have one and he's always fun and entertaining. So I'm looking forward to that, Grace. That's one more thing on our list of things to kind of keep up on what's going on.
I think it's
in
a
RV
new
travel.
Season. I think it's a new season for him that he's kicking back into gear in April.
Has he? I don't think he's done podcasts before.
Yeah, he actually has since 2018. He's got quite a few of them. So this is like a new season or maybe a little different format.
Okay.
So Sue says, hi, Northwoods, Lori and Corey. And Sue says, free does taste good. So does chocolate and wine. Ooh, this is my girl. Sue's my girl.
Whenever I get to Northwoods and watch theirs and Corey and Lori, they start talking about their delights. They know how to cook. I will say that for them. So, be sure to check out their channel also if you are interested, especially with the Blackstone or some of their newer models, the electric models that they've got out there. They are the pros.
Corey and Lori are going to want to go back to the beginning of our video and check out that cookbook when you get an opportunity. I think you guys would really like it.
Although they might kind of find that a taboo since it's, cooking in aluminum foil. But still, there is a time when you don't want to clean up. There is a time.
I'd like to have a cook-off challenge from this cookbook. I think everybody needs to get this cookbook, and then we'll do a cook-off challenge video.
That would be a thought, wouldn't it? I like that idea. We can do a little cook-off there.
So if you're down, email us support@californiatravelvideos.com and we'll send you some recipes and we'll have that cook-off challenge.
Can't go wrong there. Next up, gas prices. Well, gas and diesel prices, doggone it, they're both going up. So this last week, it went up another 5 cents, I think it was. I show 5%, which would be, if it's only $1, that would be 5 cents. I show 5% higher. So I think the averages are, about $2.25 to $2.50. Us in California, think again. We have 50-cent tax on the roads that just came into effect, and then we've got another probably 40 or 50 cents on. For the pollution, the things that they have to go to special refineries. So gas prices in California are not fun now. They're getting closer to $4 a gallon. So, hey, I think we're going to go travel out of state, honey. What do you think?
Well, yes, we are in May, but we've got some fun camping events coming up before then as well. So I think we're just going to take advantage of an opportunity to get back out there.
Yes, and this is the time here to do it. Our temperature today was 81 degrees. Now, it's going to be, I think, a high of 60 sometime in the next week, but it was a really warm one today. So we're already praying for rain. Grace, are you doing the rain dance?
I'll know when it's going to rain. I hope it rains, honestly. I mean, my body doesn't like when it rains. My body has a way of saying, boo-hoo, poor me. But overall, we need that rain. So Michael and I drove past one of our reservoirs over this past weekend, and we were very alarmed to see how low. I mean, it's not surprising because we haven't had any rain this winter, so to speak of, but the reservoir, how low it was really frightening, because we now have 5 seasons in California. We have winter, spring, summer, fall, and fire
season.
Yeah,
yes.
Fire season. So, we're already starting to think about when we do our traveling. I think last year the fires actually started in August and September. So we have to plan our traveling around the fires, so to speak.
Frightening, but perhaps true. We'll hope this is a better year.
Yeah.
Okay, well, next up, in RV travel again, RVing in the USA. Who is that that's got a song? Born in the USA, doesn't it? Yeah. That's right.
In the USA.
TV series on Discovery Channel and the Escapees RV Club, they have an alliance. They're going to do some cross promo.
Cool.
What do we call that on YouTube, Grace?
Collaborations.
Collabs. Anyway, they're going to be producing some original content. First episode, April 16th through the 18th. And that is the RVers Boot Camp in Dillard, Georgia. That is at the River Vista Mountain RV Resort. Boy, that's a mouthful. Anyway, if you go to the Escapees website or RVing the USA social sites, Instagram or Facebook, you can find out more about that. But I think that's pretty cool that in addition to, we talked about Camping World, is that RV travel is teaming up. And so we're going to see more things. Discovery Channel is getting to be a big deal, isn't it, for the RVers?
Discovery Channel, yeah, it's great. I do want to point out that Kathleen said that to stay away from the Black Hills for a while, there's actually 3 fires currently burning. Mount Rushmore and Custard Parks are currently closed, which I hadn't heard about. So thank you for that information. That's definitely very valuable to know that.
Yeah, I had no idea. We just heard, I think it was today on the news, where the east side of Glacier up in Montana, which we'd love to go to one of these years. I don't know if we'll make it this year. We are for sure going to go to Oregon and Washington, but yeah, the east side of Glacier is going to be, is actually going to be, it is now open. So that's a big plus. So it's thawing out. So Grace, do you have a picture for the next one? We're going to talk about the CHP. Do you have the requisite picture when I tell the story, or should I go look for it?
The CHP.
I'll get it up while you're talking there. This is, so anyway, the California High Patrol, they see this Joker, how it is with the windows that are too much darkening on them. Some of them, they're so dark. I don't see anybody get pulled over, but apparently the California High Patrol is suspicious with someone that, your windows were too dark. So they pulled the person over, and they noticed that the person on the passenger side looked like your typical senior RVer, but he didn't move. He didn't move at all. So it turned out he was a mannequin. And so the CHP, they were kind of tickled because this guy, and I don't know if you can find the picture while I'm doing this, but I think I can have this one. If I could show you the one where it's with the color, the skin tone and everything is striking. But anyway, that's the guy who is the mannequin, and looked pretty good. Even had a COVID mask on.
Bring it down some, honey. Bring it down.
Oh, okay.
Bring it down a little bit more. Okay, there it is. Okay, I thought it was a woman, but yeah, they even had a mask and glasses. Hey,
and
Teresa and Mike, good to see you here.
So anyway, that was kind of interesting. That so they said, "Yay, good job." They took his nice work, his artistry with the mannequin, the hat and all that stuff on, and they said, we're going to put it up on Facebook. As well as your ticket for $490.
$490. Nice try, though. I will say it's a nice try, and I loved the special touch with the mask. That was really cool.
I think I've got it here, by the way. I think if I go click here, there he is. What a guy. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty clever, but a little dastardly. So sometimes what goes around comes around. Isn't that how they say it?
What
But
comes
isn't that
around
amazing?
goes around. It all comes out in the wash.
So anyway, I just thought I would share with that. Nice to have a little bit of a levity too, and it's good to see the police with a sense of humor there. So anyway, that was the picture there, and I thought I'd share it. So who else did we have come in? Is it Teresa and Mike?
Teresa and Mike are here. Would you
Howdy,
like to
y'all.
join us, Teresa and Mike? I can send you the link.
Yeah, we'll try to have links. We normally try to, after the show, is get the links there. So sorry we don't have them before the show, but if you're interested in these, come back and watch it again, or just come by and look at the description, and we'll try to have links for some of these fun things that happened in this last week.
Okay, so Teresa and Mike are going to try to join us, so I'm going to go ahead and send them the
awesome
invitation code.
Okay.
And while I do that, what's our next story?
Well, that's coming up is that RV Travel, once again, the eMag, they're saying that California independent park owners are opening some parks as early as June 12th. But Grace says, oh, that was last year.
No, that's last year's story, honey.
I don't know. I could have sworn when I read it, wherever I read it, it was like this year. But any rate, I guess that New Mexico, they opened up all their state parks on the end of February. And so once again, things are starting to look good in terms of the parks opening up. So we're pretty excited about that. In fact, I think we've got someone going to join us up in Oregon.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great to get away. And speaking of Oregon, we have some of our fellow travelers that will be joining us, and I'm going to introduce you to Teresa and Mike. So welcome.
Howdy, y'all.
Oh, you on the beach, or where are you?
Where Peachy, where do you find yourself?
Can you see the sunset back there? Wait a minute.
It's a little blown out, but oh, now it's showing. Sweet.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Where are you?
We're just outside Valley of Fire.
Oh, we know that place.
So you're on the BLM land before you get over the hill. Is that where you're at?
Yes.
Yep, we've been there. That's beautiful. Their sunsets are spectacular.
Amazing, that's for sure.
Now, have you been down into the valley?
Yes. Yeah, we've been here about, 3 weeks now?
About 3 weeks.
Oh, nice amount of time.
Yep. So we've been to different different BML lands, but this one's been our favorite.
Yeah, I think I know exactly where you are. That's where we were, and we had, I got some good photos there. It was spectacular.
So what's the weather like there now?
Today was chilly and windy.
Well, that's okay. Better than hot.
True.
So I have a question now. This is like a burning question. I mean, for those of you who don't know, as you know, China has got the market on making all the solar panels, and I think about 80% of them go to meant to be RVing to their roof. So they're 20 plus panels. So I mean, are you kind of like, is it like nuclear? Kind of at nighttime, does your RV glow with all these solar panels going out that you're getting good sunlight?
No, it don't do that. It don't do that.
Shucks.
That was funny.
Well, no, we're jealousy. I mean, you can see that we're jealous, but we're just so happy that you've kind of you have some professionals to install. Why don't you tell us a little about, in fact, to give a shout out for the dry campers.
Oh, we can say our solar is, dang it, what happened? Did I lose y'all?
No, here.
You're there.
Okay. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Don't know what we did.
We can see Michael.
Yeah, we can see Michael. You just got to move the camera over so we can see both of you. Hi.
She's playing with a new thing on it. So
We weren't all the way prepared, so I didn't have a stand ready.
Oh, no, that's all right.
Okay.
we should just turn it towards you, just like that. Come on.
Well, definitely appreciate you joining us.
Faster.
So where are you going after you leave Valley of Fire?
There they go.
Please stand by. The operators are working on this.
Cathedral State Park.
Cathedral.
Gorge.
Cathedral State Park.
Nice.
Is that in
Up
Nevada?
on, yeah.
Yeah, up on 93. Yeah,
Okay,
That's
I'm not
still in
familiar
Nevada.
with that
still in
one.
Nevada.
I know that another
on
popular
93.
one near Vegas is also Red Rock State Park. There's one in California and one in Nevada, and it's supposed to be pretty nice too.
Right. That's right. Yeah, we haven't done that one yet. We'll probably have to grab that next trip.
Sorry.
Well, let me ask you this. Has it been a problem to find places? I mean, do you have to get reservations for these ahead of time, or you just kind of catch as catch can?
We're mostly doing BLM land, and we have had no problems at all. Actually, we've had some really good sites.
Right. The only time we had there's any problem when we went into Valley of Fire.
It's first come, first serve.
It's first come, first serve there, so there's no reservations.
Well, we're spinning all over the place.
That's okay. But Mike, that's kind of for us. That is our business model. Is when we hear no reservations, we're like, yeah, baby.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to that.
Yeah. We don't need reservations anywhere. All we got to do is just pull off the road somewhere. So
True.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did
So
get
nice.
lucky at a couple, and we met a couple, and they told us they were leaving like 2 days later, and I'm like, "Can I have your spot?" She said, "Be here at 7:30 in the morning," and we were there at 7.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you
we-
probably wanted to go to the side that had the electric hookups, even though you didn't need them, or did you find? I guess there's some pull throughs on the other side. Which one did you take of the two loops?
Alta
Alta.
Rock. It was the first loop, and it had
Oh, okay.
electric and water.
electric
It
and
had
water.
full
And-
hookups. We had a nice spot, a really nice.
Yeah, it looked like they had some nice showers there too, from what we could see.
They
Yeah,
did.
they did. They did.
Bet they did.
One thing we
And,
discovered there, I don't know
It's
if
a
you
beau- it's-
found this, but between the two loops, if you go in the back part of that campground and you see where it looks like the hill is between the two of them, there's actually a way you can walk through. It's not what I would call a strenuous hike like you like to go on, but you go up about 100 or 200 feet and you come right out on the other side. Did you try to do any of that hike?
I was like a kid there. I climbed those rocks all over the place. I went to the top to as many as I could. The views from the top of, and they were so easy to climb. Those
Yeah.
were easy to climb. And the views were spectacular. It was so much
I do
fun.
a
It was
lot
one of
better
my
there. Yeah, usually I'm scared of heights, but Michael challenged me because we wanted to go. We had walked quite a bit, and we were in the other campground that didn't have electrical, and we'd walked all the way around to get to the one that you were in, and then we wanted to go back, and Michael's like, I think that we can take a shortcut. I think we can go through these rocks and go over them. And we did, and he led me through. I did it, didn't I, honey?
Yeah.
I was like, "Ugh." Yeah. So, Michael,
Yeah.
They were fun.
you wanted to talk about the govering.com?
Yeah, I don't know if any of you have heard of this. Maybe I've missed it, but there's Go RVing, GORVING.com. And, they seem to have pretty much everything there. So I've found that, if it's trying to find accommodations or affordable vacations, especially for the newer people that maybe don't know the ropes on some of this. But they have 6 planning apps that they mentioned, the best navigational apps. You want to find dealers or find brands or meals on the road or trip planning, all that stuff they seem to have there in plenty. So anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting is, at some point, I think what happens is there's just no more, too much. But what is your favorite for Mike and Teresa? Do you like we did, is where you kind of start with all stays, or what's your first one you go to?
I think their internet's a little spotty.
Been using between iOverlander and
iOverlander and what was the second one?
iOverlander and Campendium.
Oh, and Campendium.
Campendium.
Yeah, we met them when we were at with the Escaper group.
Fun couple.
They did a talk. That's a really good one because they're really good with the BLM land and boondocking.
Yeah.
Yes.
So do you find that in addition to just finding the actual spots, do you find you also like certain parts of it? Like some people like that, it shows what the reviews are. Others say, I like to know whether or not, like where you're at now, will I cell reception or not? Or what parts of Campendium do you like best?
Yeah.
All of the above. I go and look at the pictures, but first I look for cell service because I work remotely. So I need cell service, and that's why I love this one. Besides the sunsets are gorgeous here, but it has the best cell service around Valley of Fire.
Right.
We've been on the west end and the east end.
And I think the BLM, we found that once we get, into the Valley of Fire, you're kind of lost with cell service because there's mountains all around you. But where you're at on the BLM side, you're not that far from Highway 95, I guess it is. And which carrier do you like to use out there?
15.
What was
15.
that?
Highway 15 right there behind.
Right.
Yes.
Highway 15 is 7 miles.
And what internet provider are you using right now?
Verizon.
What Verizon's? Yeah, when
Good.
we were down in the valley, we were. How many nights did we have? 3, honey?
I think it was at least 3. Yeah.
Yeah, we had 3, and we actually were without the internet service during that time. I know on your side of the campground they did have Wi-Fi options, but we actually survived, surprisingly.
I got to know what her last name was, in fact.
Yeah, he learned my last name. It was the same as him. What a coincidence! But a little bit of irony there is Michael had got me a new updated iWatch for my birthday, and he has an app on here that monitors my sleep to see if that's part of the problems that I have with my pain levels. And so it will show you how you're sleeping and how many purples you get. And when we were in the Valley of Fire, every single night I was getting tons of purple. And then it dawned on us just a couple days ago, I didn't have any internet access. And we were wondering if that came to play with the amount of sleep that we get, how much we're feeding our mind, how much data we're putting in, so that when we go to sleep at night, how much that seeps into our dreams. Yeah. Oh, you didn't do very good last night. No wonder you're grouchy today.
Oh, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hey.
Oh, well, maybe I'm the grouch because I only had 1 purple.
But I think Teresa, or maybe Teresa and Mike or somebody, don't you have like a Fitbit that kind of does the same thing?
Now I have the Apple Watch, and mine does the sleep app too.
Okay.
So what do you average on purple?
We're delayed.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
I haven't checked it in so long.
Well, I think we have an extra app that we
I
have
quit
loaded
checking
for
it.
that, Grace.
Oh, okay. What's our app?
I'm not sure right this second.
Okay, let me see if I can find it for us.
Okay.
It's called Auto Sleep.
That's it.
Yeah. And so last night for me was a bummer. I only had one purple.
I think what happens, so when you look at the app and it hypnotizes you, and if your battery goes dead, I don't think you ever wake up. That's the problem with these apps. No, not really, but yeah, we check it in the morning normally and see if we've if we haven't had many deep sleeps, then we say, maybe we won't spend too much time with our spouse today.
Right? Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the grouch. I only had one purple.
Oops.
So one of the things we wanted to touch bases on was a story that's coming out of Colorado about some vandals. And they actually defaced one of the fragile sandstone rocks near the historic Khmer Quarry at the Red Rock Canyon. And the ironic part is they defaced it with the word love, Love.
Yeah, of all words. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think we wanted to talk a little bit on the vandalism and talk a little bit about being respectful when we're out in BML land and making sure that oh, you're bringing it up, honey? See the big old love?
I did bring it up, yeah.
Yeah, making sure that we are actually taking care of the places that we go to so that our kids and our grandkids can enjoy it. Yeah, so had you guys heard about that story? Oh, we've lost sound.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear us, but for some reason you seem to be muted.
Okay, we'll see you later. We can't hear you. Sorry.
Okay, thanks for dropping in, Teresa and Mike. Okay, be well. Bye-bye. Okay, so let's go ahead and
recommends that next time we go out, try unplugging completely for a few days and see how I feel. I felt pretty darn good when we were in Valley of Fire, and I do wonder if being unplugged has something to do with that. I'm gonna have to check that.
It does kind of make you suspicious, doesn't it? How about everybody out there? What are your secrets to having a good night's sleep? I'm kind of curious. And I know Grace is for sure.
Well, what's mine? You know the secret for me, and you haven't shared it with me?
I keep trying different things. I know that. And I see Kathleen. Yes. Last week we spoke about their north of Reno where, people are allowed to stay 14 days in BLM land. But it's those who just kind of hang out for months and don't believe in getting rid of their garbage and even vehicles, abandoned vehicles. So yeah, there's 3 locations up there north of Reno where the BLM said nope. And that's kind of happened down by Sedona, Arizona, and another spot there in northern part of Arizona. So this is not good. So yeah, here we have something, port before bed, says Super Strong. Yeah. We've tried this one. In fact, Corey and Lori, I know Corey was the other day on his live stream. He was talking about that, he is fine with the hard stuff, whiskeys and things, no problemo. But when it comes to a couple of beers, it's like, no, for some reason, our body metabolizes things differently for some people. So, but I don't think Grace has tried port yet. Have you?
I've tried port. Port is not probably one of my favorites. I kind of like the Merlots and a small glass. What happens if you drink a bottle?
Then yeah, just don't let the glass bottle hit you on the head as you're getting knocked out.
There's a lot of fresh air during the day and a shot of bourbon. That works for me too. But yeah, I was telling Michael when we were doing the work in our yard and we were carrying down the 50-pound blocks and the wheelbarrows full of dirt. Oh yeah, definitely need a bite of chocolate with the port. We were working so hard, and I said that was a really good workout, and I slept really good after that. And I said, well, maybe I just need to get out more and get more fresh air and work harder. And then I realized it was a correlation between Valley of Fire because I was so busy working, I wasn't on the internet. So because I wasn't on the internet, so we're really starting to explore if I spend less time on the internet, if I sleep better at night.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, Michael, are you pouring us a glass of port? I know there's some on the table.
I don't think we have any port. At least I
We
don't
do.
know
It's on
if
the
we do.
table.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. You would not forget that, would you, honey?
Of course not. I know where all the wine bottles are.
Well, hey, speaking of which, on the defacing property, and this is something I think we all experience. You pull into a spot, and if your spot is not level, is that, if you have the electronic jack leveling system, well, that's great. But for those mortals of us out there, is that you get the leveling blocks, or Anderson has one that it's kind of a ramp that it's got more on one side than the other, and it's kind of pretty cool. The Anderson company makes trailer hitches. And for some reason, I was looking at some reviews on this, and somebody said, well, I would not buy their product. And I said, I'm thinking, well, why? What would be wrong with this company, Anderson Hitches? And it turns out, I guess, that, he was feeling amorous, and he was at the, Corona Arch, and he wanted to put, I love my wife, and you had the year on it. And so, but it was actually on this very famous arch on National Park Service. And I'm going to get a picture of it here. And
thank God for Google.
Yeah, except for them. I'm sure the Andersons weren't so happy that they were caught, because it has their picture. But anyway, there's a picture of the arch.
And then what did you do? Put it on Instagram or something?
I'm trying to find where the picture is of the arch itself. But for better or worse, he took a picture, he and his wife and the 3 kids, believe it or not. And he had engraving on that arch there with it. And that wasn't so cool. So you always kind of wonder, what will the government do about this? And, because it can be up to, I think, $10,000 fine and a year in the pokey. But I guess they, I think, charged him $1,000 for it. And he said, belatedly, he apologized and he expressed his embarrassment for the situation, which is, well, okay. But at any rate, I think that kind of shows is that, what goes around comes around. So I'm hoping that people will be more careful with our treasured assets so that we leave them. What did you say last week, Grace? Is take only pictures, leave only footprints, something like that?
Exactly. I mean, one of the things when we were in the waterfalls in upstate New York, the Letchworth, I made a wish. I did throw a coin into the water. I guess that's my idea of vandalism. But upon it, I made a wish. And the wish was that my grandchildren would someday be able to visit, our grandchildren, all 8 of them, that someday they would be able to visit the places that we got to go to, and that those places would still be there for them.
Yeah, that would be at least as good a shape as we saw them.
Exactly. And I think when we go to these places, we need to keep that in mind, that we're only here for a short time, but these places are going to be here if we take good care of them a lot longer than we are. Mm-hmm. And so we really, really highly recommend and encourage you to take good care of the parks, to, let's make it a thing like smoking, where it's just not acceptable.
Well, I'm sure all our people here do, but, and the ones who are watching after the fact, but, the people we can talk to, just to kind of encourage them to take good care of the assets as best we can.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we got through the majority of our...
I do have a little bit more, honey.
Okay.
Also, on the RVIA website, I see I'm going to give kudos to Illinois, state of Massachusetts, and West Virginia. They've joined 17 other states who now have a state task force, which is for the Office of Outdoor Recreation. In other words, they realize that, hey, transportation is one of our, I don't know, I've heard it was like in 3rd or 4th place in terms of the income that our country and our states get. So, having tourists for not only just ourselves, but also for others, people out of country are coming to visit our fair states. is that there's a spot in the government where they're kind of aligning with these, travelers, the businesses, and so on. So I think this is a good thing for everybody. And I'm glad that they're up to 20 states. I didn't see our state named in this, the state of California, but maybe they have, and I just don't know about it. Anyway, I thought that was kind of very encouraging news to see more states following the leadership of the first 17.
So Kathleen says that the coins in the zinc is actually toxic to the baby fish. So I will definitely keep that in mind, because you can throw a pebble. I mean, really, it's superstitious. You can throw anything you want. I'll throw Michael over and make a big wish.
That's right. A sacrifice to the gods. Not that the gods would want me. They'd send me back, throw him out. I'd be like, she'd put me in the geyser, and the geyser, like, poof, I'd be up there 200 feet in the air.
And Kathleen's doing God's work. She takes a roll of trash bags with her, and she rarely leaves the campsite without a full one of other people's trash. So we definitely thank you.
Yeah. But, coins used to be made out of silver, out of copper, and now everything is zinc. So, yeah, we don't want to put zinc in the water supplies.
Ooh, she asked us a good question, and I have not heard anything about this. How do you feel about the proposal of taxing the miles that we drive?
Wow. In fact, I was just talking to my 94-year-old mother yesterday about regressive taxes. And so in our state, where we have a lot of taxes on the gas, normally the people with lower income are the ones who have to drive more, and they pay a big percentage of those taxes. Now, you might say, like what you imply, Kathleen, if you're driving more, then you should pay more. And certainly the truckers and things that are much harder on the road, where you've got a vehicle that's over 10,000 pounds. Oops, I think we're right at 10,000 pounds ourselves. Should we have to pay more? That's, I think, a fair question. And our taxes on our RV are, I think, over $400 a year. I don't know what it is in your state, but our license tax is more than some states. And some people, where they figure where their domicile is, this is a big deal. If you've got a new Prius or something like that, $1 million vehicle, or a Class A that's, many hundreds of thousands of dollars, then yeah, the cost of the licensing, which is, I think, another way of saying, Kathleen, is how about, taxes more for heavy vehicles? So then the question becomes the miles. And I'd say the problem with that is it would be very hard to meter and to figure out.
True.
I guess is that you'd have to, I suppose, go somewhere to a station at the end of the year, and then people would be like monkeying with their meters, making sure that it stops or things like that. So some of these things, they sound good when you say them fast, but my personal opinion, I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know, is that when are subsidies good in this type of thing? But I generally would feel is that progressive taxes for, people that get more value out of things. I don't know if people are going to work and they're only getting, what's the minimum salary? It's like 7 something an hour. I don't think they should be taxed more if they have long commutes when they have hardly enough money to get by as it is.
That part is true, but I think it's a little more than 7. I think minimum wage is 10 or 11.
No, not the national, Grace. No, the national, I think $7.50.
Wow. So we've got a couple minutes to wrap this up.
I do have one more thing.
Okay.
Speaking of which, this is about how far can you drive your vehicle when it's on empty.
Ooh,
this is a fun one, but I'd love to see somebody's input to see if you're as bold as me. Not that I am as bold in the RV as I am in my passenger car, but Grace, let's have you answer first. How low will you get your tank?
Okay. Well, first of all, I used to date a mechanic a long time ago, and a very good mechanic. And he told me, and this was back in the days that I really didn't have a lot of extra cash, but he said, when you see your lever on a quarter tank, get gas, because you will do your car a lot of good. It will actually do better on gas mileage. It'll do better on the oil and everything else. So because I was kind of like trained early on with that, a quarter of a tank, it's empty to me. So I don't know.
Okay. So you have not actually ever seen your light come on
I
your
never
car.
ran out of gas. Ask Mike.
Never. And I'd say run out of gas. I say the low fuel light. You've never seen it come on.
Nope.
Okay, there you go. That's Grace.
How about you?
I like to get it down to below a quarter of a tank. You know, I mean, it's 8 pounds per gallon, and if you've got 20 gallons, then you're carrying an extra 160 pounds, an extra passenger in it. I'm gonna always let it get past a half. Unless we're on the road, I'm not going to want to let it go down to a quarter, though. If I think that, you know, where you're sweating, if you've got like another 70 or 80 miles, we do get 15 to 16 miles to the gallon, sometimes 17 if it's on the freeway. But yeah, I'm not going to get it too low. Now, I guess some of the people will say is that, well, if you let it get low, then it's starting to get some sediment at the bottom of the tank.
Exactly.
And your filtration system, it may not be good for it. And if it does run out, and you know, you have like a diesel and your injection system, it loses its lubrication, that can damage the engine. So don't let it get all the way out, especially on a diesel.
What he
But
said.
I would say is that
He said.
I don't like the idea of seeing it run out and then you're losing many hours, as well as taking the risk. But on the other hand, for my passenger car, if I don't let it get close to where that light comes on, because there's always within 10 miles I can get gas, but I would like to be able to fill it up and get 18 to 20 gallons that I put in on my probably 24 gallon tank. So I'll get it down to the last 10%.
The Reef Robber says some cars have the fuel pump inside of the fuel tank, and the gas in there keeps the pump cool. Therefore, it's best to fill up at a quarter of a tank.
Oh, well, I don't know that one. Thank you for that. Isn't that great? We've got such smart people here. Thank you for that.
We have smart listeners.
Yeah.
And
well, there you've heard it.
Those listeners. And on that, I think it's about time for us to sign off. We are past our 1 hour, so we definitely don't want to abuse YouTube's kindness and take their kindness for granted.
So thank you all for being here. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you've got some suggestions for next week, things that we should have on the show to talk about, we like to always get the news or what's news for you. So if you have things that you would like to talk about next week, maybe join us on the show. We'd like to know, like we did for Therese and Mike, meant to be RVing. Feel free to go ahead and you can either contact us. It's Michael
at CaliforniaTravel.com.
Try it again. Grace, say the whole thing again, please.
Michael at CaliforniaTravelVideos.com, and it's going across on a little banner at the bottom of the screen.
Good. Great. So thanks for being here. I hope you enjoyed the show. We can't wait to see you again next week. Until then, as always, happy trails to you until we meet again.
Bye-bye.
Peace out. Bye for now.